Hello everyone, welcome back to the Jonny Rocket Show, where we cover the biggest stories in movies, sports, and everything in between. Today, we've got a stacked lineup of stories that you don't want to miss. We've got the Star Wars latest news, including upcoming projects, casting rumors, and what's next for the franchise. So buckle up, it's about to get exciting. Then, we've got an incredible feel-good story. Hollywood's own Steve Carell just stepped up in a big way, surprising students affected by wildfires. We'll tell you what he did and how it made a huge impact. And fight fans, you're gonna love this. We're breaking down the must-watch UFC fights coming up, plus some bold predictions that might just shock you. And finally, the Special Olympics World Winter Games are officially underway. And we've got the highlights, the biggest moments, and why this event is truly inspiring the world. So don't go anywhere. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's blast off with the latest. This is the Jonny Rocket Show. Alright, Star Wars fans, let's talk about what's next in a galaxy far, far away. We've got major upcoming projects, new casting rumors, and what's in store for the future of the franchise. First up, let's talk about one of the most critically acclaimed Star Wars shows, Andor Season 2, premiering April 22nd. And if you thought Season 1 was intense, Season 2 is expected to raise the stakes even higher. We'll be diving even deeper into Cassian Andor's journey, showing his transformations from an everyday guy into a key figure in the rebellion, all leading up to the events in Rogue One. What made Season 1 of Andor so unique was its grounded, gritty tone was something we haven't seen much of in the Star Wars universe. The focus on the complexities of rebellion, the weight of the Empire's oppression, and the personal sacrifices that come with standing up for something bigger than yourself. Season 2 promises to keep that intensity while further exploring Cassian's relationships with iconic characters like Mon Mothma and Saw Gerrera. One of the most exciting things about Season 2 is that it will take us closer to the formation of the Rebel Alliance, as we witness the various factions starting to come together. Andor is really going to dive in the behind-the-scenes politics of the rebellion, showing how the seeds were planted, the alliances made, and the sacrifices needed to make the Empire fall. It's going to be a slow burn, but with huge payoffs, which I can't wait for. Fans are also hoping to see even more of the covert operations and high-stake missions that the rebellions undertake, especially now that the show has proven it can handle the darker, more realistic side of Star Wars. There's even talk about exploring more of Rogue One's backstory, perhaps giving us more context on the formation of the Death Star and how the Empire's war machine began to take shape. But the big question for many fans is, where will we see Cassian's journey go next? Will we see him become the full-fledged rebel leader that we meet in Rogue One? Or will he take a more personal path to redemption, balancing the weight of his past and his future role in the rebellion? It's clear that Andor is setting itself up to be a cornerstone of Star Wars storytelling. With its powerful writing, complex characters, and deep dives into the rebellion's origins, Season 2 is one of the most highly anticipated Star Wars shows on the horizon. Next up, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie has officially started production, with Jon Favreau directing and Dave Filoni producing. This is going to be huge because it expands the Mandoverse on the big screen for the first time. Expect Mando, Grogu, and some familiar faces take one massive new adventure. Maybe even setting up Grand Admiral Thrawn as the next big villain. Speaking of Thrawn, Filoni's upcoming Heir to the Empire movie is rumored to be the Avengers of Star Wars. It brings together characters from Ahsoka, The Mandalorian, and the Book of Boba Fett in an all-out war for the future of the New Republic. This could be the defining event for Star Wars in the next few years. And on the animation side, we've got Tales of the Jedi Season 2 coming later this year. So Star Wars fans, what are you most excited for? The Andor Season 2 or the Mandalorian Grogu movie? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on to a truly heartwarming story that's bound to put a smile on your face. Hollywood's own Steve Carell just did something incredible. And it's a moment you'll want to hear about. And many of you know, wildfires have devastated several communities over the past year, leaving countless families displaced and schools destroyed. In the aftermath of these disasters, recovery can feel like an uphill battle, especially for students who have lost their school supplies and a sense of stability. Well, Steve Carell, known for his comedic roles in The Office and Anchorman, decided to surprise students in one of the hardest hit areas. He showed up unannounced to a local high school in Southern California, bringing with him not just his famous smile, but also a whole lot of support. Carell spent time talking with the students, offering words of encouragement and support, and even joining in on some activities. But here's the best part. He also made sure these students weren't left without the resources they needed to continue their education. In a gesture that's truly touching, Steve personally helped provide students with school supplies, technology, and even scholarships to help them get back on their feet. He also made a generous effort to help rebuild the school, ensuring that these students have the proper tools to succeed, despite the hardships they faced. What makes this even more meaningful is that Steve's visit wasn't just about the donations. It was about restoring hope and giving these students a sense of normalcy after their lives were turned upside down by the fires. His presence reminded them that the world still cares about them and that they're not alone in their journey to rebuild. I don't know about you, but this kind of selflessness is exactly what we need to see more of in the world today. Steve Carell truly went above and beyond to make a difference in the lives of these young people, and it's something that will stay with them for a long time. So, what do you think? Have you ever experienced something like this? Or do you have your own story of kindness that made a difference? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. UFC fans, it's time to get fired up because we've got some exciting fights coming up, and I'm throwing out some bold predictions that might just blow your mind. First up, let's talk about UFC 300, one of the most highly anticipated events of this year. With massive names on the card and a few potential surprises, this is going to be a must-watch event. If you're a fan of big knockouts and a high-level strategy, this one's for you. Now, the main event. We're talking about the long-awaited showdown between Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title. This fight could go down as one of the greatest of all time. Jones is coming off a dominant win over Cyril Gane, and he's proving that he's still the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. But Miocic, he's got one of the most well-rounded games in the division. And if he can weather the storm early, he could shock the world. But my bold prediction? Jon Jones wins a dramatic third-round submission. As good as Miocic is, I think Jones' versatility and fight IQ will shine through. And he'll find a way to finish this fight after Miocic tests him through the early rounds. But don't sleep on the main event. Islam Makhachev vs. Charles Oliveira is a fight that fans have been craving ever since Makhachev took the belt. We're talking about one of the best grapplers in the game versus one of the most dangerous fighters in MMA. Oliveira has never been afraid to go to the ground. Makhachev's wrestling, this one could be a clinic in submission exchanges. Bold prediction here, Oliveira pulls off an upset with a second round submission. Makhachev is dominant, but Oliveira's jiu-jitsu is otherworldly. I think he caught Makhachev with something unexpected after a back and forth battle. And let's not forget Kaimaev, the monster we've all been watching rise through the ranks. Kaimaev is calling for a title shot, but Israel Adesanya has already beaten everyone in the division. Is Kaimaev ready to dethrone the middleweight king? Bold prediction here, Kaimaev takes down Adesanya with a dominant performance and wins by TKO in the 4th round. Kaimaev has the relentless pace, and he's one of the few fighters who can pressure Israel in ways we haven't seen. And how about some sleeper fights? Keep an eye on Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. We're about to witness another war in the lightweight division. And this time, I'm predicting Poirier will secure the win by decision in a fight that could be as brutal as their first meeting. Also, Amanda Nunes may have retired, but the women's bantamweight division is heating up. Valentina Shevchenko and Megan Anderson looking to dominate. The flyweight division is stacked. We could see Valentina move up to take on a new challenge, maybe even in a super fight. So UFC fans, there you have it. Some of the biggest matchups coming our way, plus some bold predictions that might have you questioning everything that you knew. Will Jones continue his dominance? Can Oliveira defy the odds? Will Khamzat prove he's the future of the sport? The only way to find out is to tune in and watch the action unfold. Drop your own predictions in the comments below, and let's see how they stack up against mine. Now, let's talk about one of the most inspiring events in all of sports, the Special Olympics World Winter Games. If you need a reminder of what true determination, sportsmanship, and heart look like, this event is it. Held every 4 years, this global event brings together thousands of athletes with intellectual disabilities from over 100 countries, competing in a wide range of winter sports. And let me tell you, these athletes aren't just here to participate. They're here to compete at the highest level, pushing their limits and proving that no obstacle is too big to overcome. One of the biggest moments of the game came in the alpine skiing competition, where we saw an unbelievable finish. Athletes were flying down the slopes, and in the final stretch, we got a photo finish that had the entire crowd on its feet. The energy was off the charts. Then, in the speed skating event, we witnessed one of the fastest and most intense races in Special Olympics history. These athletes were moving with incredible precision. The determination on their faces showed just how much this moment meant to them. It was a true battle to the finish. And let's talk about the snowboarding competition, one of the most exciting events at the games. Athletes were pulling off incredible runs, navigating the course with pure skill and fearlessness. One competitor even landed a trick that had everyone talking, and an inspiring display of just how talented and hardworking these athletes are. Team sports also had their shining moments. In the hockey tournament, we saw underdog teams pull off major upsets, proving that anything is possible when you play with your heart. In curling, we had some dramatic finishes that kept fans on the edge of their seats. The passion in these team events were unmatched. But what makes the Special Olympics World Winter Games so incredible isn't just the competition. It's the spirit of these athletes. Every single competitor has had to overcome challenges, defy expectations, and prove that no dream is out of reach. And the best part, they do it with joy, sportsmanship, and a level of determination that inspires millions around the globe. This event isn't just about winning medals. It's about breaking barriers, and showing the world that everyone deserves a chance to compete, no matter the obstacles they face. It's a celebration of inclusion, perseverance, and the pure love of sports. If you ever find yourself doubting what's possible, just look at these athletes. They face challenges that most of us could never imagine, yet they show up with courage, determination, and an unbreakable spirit. They remind us that limits only exist in the mind, and that with the right support and belief, anything can be achieved. These games aren't just about competition. They're about proving the world wrong. They're about showing that no matter where you come from, no matter what challenges you face, you belong here. Let's cheer for their determination, their passion, and the hope they bring to millions of people who dare to dream. Because at the end of the day, the greatest win isn't a gold medal. It's proving to yourself and the world that you are unstoppable. Thanks for watching The Jonny Rocket Show. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button and subscribe for more updates. And don't forget to stay sharp, aim high, and keep those engines running. We'll see you on the next one. This is The Jonny Rocket Show.